NFL Films? Y'all gonna put me on? From a personality standpoint, TJ is gonna talk. He's gonna tell you exactly how he feels. Wake up, Cam! Wake up, Cam! Wake up! TJ Ward! Welcome to Safety First. It's your boy TJ Ward here, coming off a hot championship weekend. I was out in Denver for the Patriots Broncos game, man, and it didn't end how we liked it for our Bronco country, man. But you know what? It was a great season. You see me, we got the Bronco jersey on, win, lose, or draw. You know, I'm with the boys, I'm with the team, I'm with the squad, man. It was an amazing season for the Broncos, right? We lost our starting quarterback, had to go into the AFC Championship game with our backup, who came in and did as best as he could. But like I said, sometimes the chips don't always fall the way you want them to fall. Congratulations to the Patriots on advancing, even though I think that we still could have won that game, but we just made too many mistakes at the end of the day. And what the Patriots didn't do was shoot themselves in the foot. They did very minimum to win the game, but they didn't do the negative things to lose it. And that's what we did as Broncos. So, you know what? Let's start off from the very beginning. We came out firing. Stidham came out, threw a bomb to Mims, 52-yard gain, set us up for a touchdown in the red zone. Cortland Sutton on the play action. It was a beautiful first drive. I'm like, okay, we couldn't start the game off any better than that, especially coming in with your backup quarterback. Everyone else around him was stepping up, and it looked like it was going to be, a great game for us. They got the ball back. Defense stepped up and did exactly what they were expected to do and what they needed to do to help this team win. And honestly, throughout the whole day, except for a couple plays, the defense stepped up and played winning football. At home, through the blizzard, through everything else, the defense played. But I'm going to go back to a couple key plays in that game where the defense went a little lax, and it really cost us an opportunity. I ain't going to say it cost us the game, but it cost us the opportunity to win the ball game, right? So after that touchdown drive by Stidham in the offense, defense, got us back, got us off the field. We came back down. We were driving down again, and it was a big 3rd and 9 that we had the opportunity to get in field goal range and continue to drive. It was in the first quarter again. And Cortland Sutton dropped a key 3rd and 9. Now, I'm going to say I love Cortland Sutton. He's been a baller ever since he's been in Denver. But in the last 2 playoff games, he's had some key drops and key moments. And I say key moments, don't mean that the game is on the line at that very point. But it means usually 3rd or 4th down and something that'll keep a drive, a much-needed drive going. And that was just a mishap on him, man. We just got to finish those plays. The ball was a little behind him. I will give him that. But we are NFL players. We have to catch those footballs. And, they got the ball back. I think we end up punting, right? We end up punting because it was midfield. And this defense still got us back, got us off the field, but I feel it was another opportunity for us to go up 2 scores in that case. So offense gets the ball back, driving down the field, and what the play we've all been talking about, we've all been hearing about, was the 4th down conversion that we missed. We had an excellent drive all the way to that point. We were within the 20-yard line in the red zone. Now, me, personally, I would have kicked the field goal. I've been talking about what you have to do to win these playoff games. Number 1, don't beat yourself. Number 2, take the money when it's there. Number 3, run the ball. Ball control. Control the game. Control the clock. Number 4, don't turn the ball over. Don't turn the ball over. And when you're unsuccessful on fourth down, it's just like a turnover. So let's go back to that play. It was 4th and 1, and we were rolling. And I understand Coach Sean Payton's mindset, right? We go up 2 touchdowns. It's going to be very hard for the Patriots to score 2 touchdowns against this defense at home, especially with a blizzard coming. Now, the upside to that is amazing, but the downside to that is you miss out on the easy 3 points. We were close, very close. It wasn't a long field goal like the 2 we missed early, or the 2 we missed later in the game. It was a close field goal, so it's money in the bank, man. It's money in the bank, and I'm always going to lean to the side of take the money. Take the money, especially when you're dealing with your backup quarterback, a quarterback that's not very prolific, a quarterback that's not going to air you out, a quarterback that's basically playing not to lose. He's playing with house money. Every win that Drake May has been in, they're either tied or they're winning. He's not asked to come back from 1 score, 2 scores. He's not asked to do that. He can't do that. So my mindset is go up 10 points and make Drake come from behind. And then if you're up 10, you have the ability to continue to kick field goals and go up by small increments. Now, if I was playing Matt Stafford, maybe we that's a no-brainer. We got to get these points because he gonna go down the field. If I'm playing Sam Darnold, that's a different thing because they airing that thing out. You know they gonna go down and get 7, and then it's gonna come back door. You gonna have to go get 7. But this is not the NFC. And through the history, the AFC has always played a little bit tougher defense than the NFC. Just not every year. I'm not gonna say every year, but characteristically, the AFC is known for having better defenses, and the NFC is known for having more prolific, high-scoring offenses. And that's just what it is. So coming into this game with an offense, with a team like Mike Vrabel and Drake May and the way they run the ball and play style defense, it's going to be a low-scoring game. And it turned out to be a low-scoring game. And we lost by those very 3 points that we didn't take early in the game. Now, backdooring that. Or front dooring that. We don't go for it, they get the ball. We end up holding them anyway, right? We end up holding them anyway. We get the ball back. And then this is where things go awry. Truly. Stidham is trying to set up a screen, or the running back doesn't get all the way out on the screen, or maybe he misses the check where he killed it and goes back to the original play. He didn't get out and run the route that he was supposed to run. Instead of taking the sack, tries to do too much. And he's going to throw the ball away, but before he can get it out of his hand, the defender hits his hand and forces him to lateral the ball, making it a fumble. They pick it up. Now, in that situation, he has to know a sack is better than anything in that situation. Take the sack, play field position. This is going to be a field position game. Let the defense go out and do what they do. But he doesn't have the playing experience this year. He hasn't been in those situations a lot. And he really tried to make nothing out of nothing, and it ended up becoming a negative. But you have to harp on him, on Jared Stidham all week. Do not give the ball up. Do not force anything. The ball is better in your hands with a sack and us being able to punt and play the field position game. Point blank, period. A sack is better than anything. A sack is better than a fumble. A sack is better than trying to make something and throwing an interception. A sack is better than any of those situations. And we win the game with a sack and a punt. We win ball games being sacked and punting the ball and letting our defense play great defense. Now, we had 5 sacks against Drake May in this game. But what Drake May didn't do this game, opposed to what he did in the Texas game, was fumble the football on those sacks. He didn't fumble the football on them sacks. He didn't force the ball in the passing situations that weren't wide open. His biggest pass was a flea flicker. He passed for 86 yards. 86 yards. And 45 or so of those yards were on a flea flicker. Now, he did rush for, what did he rush for? It's right here in my notes. He rushed for 65 yards. Stevenson had 71 yards. So they rushed the ball pretty well. Had 140-something rushing yards. But that's not going to win the game if you have 80 passing yards. The only way you can do that is if we turn the ball over and give them prime opportunity to score in the red zone. Now, we lucky the whistle was blown. Well, I mean, they scored anyway. We're not lucky, but it really should have been a scoop and score. But we get in the red zone. And another thing I say is when you're playing defense and you can limit a team to 3 points in the red zone, it's a win, especially after a turnover. Now, our defense went in there and Drake May scored on the draw. It was a great play. A great play by, McDaniels calling that play. But defensively, man, we got to be aware of that. We know he's not that drop back quarterback. He's going to use his legs. I'm coming into that situation expecting some form of draw could happen. That's just me, though. I was always ready for a draw with a running. I'm triggering so fast, waiting for a draw in the red zone. You know why? Because the field is condensed. Even if they pass and you get caught, you still have an opportunity to make a play on the pass. But if you sit back for too long waiting for a pass, you can't react to the draw. You got to read the offensive line. You have to read the running back. The way he snuck through the offensive line, that was not a route running back. That was a blocking running back. And we got beat. We got beat for 7. And that was really all they could muster on offense. The entire game was them 7 points off a turnover. You cannot turn the ball over and lose the turnover battle and win playoff games. It's just not going to happen. And if it does, your offense is on fire. If that happens, then your offense is on fire. Now, going into the half, we had an opportunity to tie the ball game up. So that's why I'm not going to say that early 4th down lost us the game. Could it help us win the game? Would you have liked to have those 3 points? Looking back at it, seeing that we lost by 3? Yes. But I'm not going to say going for that on 4th down lost us the game. Because we were in 2 other situations to tie the football game. One was going into the halftime. 54-yard field goal. Lutz is a vet. 50-yard field goals in the NFL right now, you should make those. You should make those. Those are easy money. Now, was the wind blowing as hard? Not as hard as it was later in the game. That is a very makeable kick. In the playoffs, with the game on the line, going into halftime to tie the game, Lutz, you got to make that kick, big dog. You got to make that kick. You have to make that kick. And I'm just going to keep it a buck, man. You get paid the big bucks, you have to make that kick. That would have tied the game up. You send us in the halftime with the momentum, the confidence, come back out, get a stop and get the ball back. We come back out as a blizzard. Now, the Patriots, we were on them. We were on them. Had them backed up. Another key play. And as much as that 4th down conversion we missed cost us a game, this play also cost us a game. 3rd and 14. 3rd and 14. We have to get off the field. We let them convert 3rd and 14 in the snow to keep that drive going. That drive ended up being 9 minutes. That's most of the whole 3rd quarter. A 9-minute drive on a 3rd and 14, there's no way we give that up. Why did we give that up? Because we laxed? The pass rush didn't get there? What are the reasons that we gave that 3rd and 14 up? There should be no reasons. We cannot give that 3rd and 14 up. And then they get the first down. Right? The drive stays alive. They come back with a flea flicker that I was talking about earlier to the same receiver. Now this dude comes into the stadium. Mac Hollins comes into the stadium with the Warriors, got the glass. I just knew he was going to kick their ass when I saw that. When he came in with the bottles, talking about Warriors, come out and play. I love that movie, by the way. It's an amazing movie. Amazing movie, great movie. But this dude comes in with, I said, it's over for them boys. He playing games. He think this is a game. You know, he like to come in the stadium, weird dude with his barefoot. He come in with the bottles. I'm like, man, that's why they going to lose this game right there. They throw the flea flicker to him. I can't explain some of this stuff, man. I really can't explain some of it. So he catches it, continues to drive. When they went for it on 4th down, which I thought they were short. I honestly thought they were short on that. But hey, the eye in the sky says that that he was short on the sneak. We end up stopping them. Getting our stop in the red zone, making them kick 3. That's when they got the 10 points. That's exactly where they got the 10 points. The flea flicker came later when they missed the field goal. So the flea flicker wasn't on the same drive where they got the money. The flea flicker came later. But the 9-minute drive, coming out, got down, kicked the field goal, put us behind. Now that worried me a little bit because it started snowing, and then I seen the playbook condense. Now also, RJ Harvey, he had a really good game for what he could do. I thought we should have fed him a little bit more. He was breaking tackles, he was catching the ball out the backfield, and I knew he would be, very vital for us if we were going to win this game. Same I said with Marvin Mims. Marvin Mims was going to be very vital if we were going to win this game. The defense, of course, they were vital, but it was just a bunch of situations that didn't go our way. And sometimes it's like that in the playoffs, man. You get into all these situations and they just don't go your way. Now, towards the end of the game, crucial drop by little Jordan Humphrey on 3rd and 5. I talk about that because he had a drop last week for a touchdown. And he dropped it, and we barely skated and won that game. We had Bo Nix in that game, but, we didn't have Bo. We would have lost that game too. The last drive, Jared Stidham, 2nd and 9, you throw the ball up. If you throw a fade ball, man, you got to throw that to that sideline, man, period. You can't throw that up and hang it in the middle of the field, man. My grandma would have picked that ball off. It was just too many things that we did in a game where you cannot make mistakes and bite your own self in the butt to win. And that's exactly what the Patriots didn't do. And to seal the game out on the bootleg, you cannot get outflanked if you're the end. If you're the outside linebacker, D-end, in that situation, I'm waiting for the boot. That's what I'm waiting for. That's my responsibility. The tight end blocked out. Safety got a feel in that if that ball comes inside. My responsibility is to keep containment and make sure the quarterback doesn't boot. And that's exactly what he did. So Drake May, although he didn't pass for 1,000,000 yards, he made the easy plays. He made the plays that were there to be made with his legs. And you got to give him credit for that. No turnovers, 5 sacks, no turnovers, no interceptions, no fumbles. We had a fumble by our quarterback and an interception late by our quarterback. And then a missed 2-point conversion or missed fourth down conversion, and 2 missed field goals. That's 5 turnovers. A missed field goal, you get a ball to the defense right there. That's 5 turnovers. So that's 5 turnovers to their 1 because they missed 1 field goal. You're not gonna win. You're not gonna win the game. You're not. So shout out to Vrabel. You know, he came in. Player coach, man. Players coach the way players have a different mindset going into these games because they know what it's like being on the field. They know what it's like being on the field. They know that they don't want to waste all the effort it took to get in these situations and come away with nothing. That's why I would trust a player's mindset in these situations over anyone else's. Now, you may say, oh, you don't need to be an ex-player to be a good coach. Duh. You don't need to be. You don't need to be. Especially if you have a league full of players or coaches that ain't never played. Somebody got to win. Right? Somebody has to win. If you got a league full of coaches that ain't never played, who's going to win the ball game? The coach that ain't never played. Duh. Because none of them ain't never played. Now, can you be a great coach without playing? Yeah, of course you can. Like that's without being said. But I'm going to go take it back to what we spoke about on the gridiron last week. Like, me and Talib had this, not argument, but we had the debate. Talib said, yeah, you don't have to be a great player. You don't have to be a player to be a great coach. And I'm not saying you do. My point goes back to giving ex-players more opportunities, giving ex-players the fast track like you give some of these other guys the fast track to being head coaches and coordinators. I'm not saying that because you didn't play, you don't deserve an opportunity. Everyone deserves an opportunity if you have the knowledge. But what I'm saying is some of these guys are getting preferential treatment over ex-players. For what reason? Are they deemed smarter? Leave said that ex-players won't put on or may not put in the extra time or won't put. I don't think that's true because as ex-players, and I know Leave studied night and day. I study night and day. So to say that a player is not going to put in the time that some of these other guys put in is not true. It's just not true. And I know ex-players that study fall asleep on the iPad. And we didn't win the Super Bowl unless we did fall asleep on that iPad. And you could be the greatest coach in the world, but if your players aren't falling asleep on that iPad, aren't putting in the time on that iPad, I don't care what defense you install, what scheme you install. The players are on the field and they have to put in the work. It's not just their athletic ability. It's the knowledge. It's the preparation. So if you do that as a player, why wouldn't you do that as a coach? Why wouldn't you put your players why wouldn't you give your players every opportunity there was, knowing that you're prepared, knowing that you've done everything in your power to help them prepare for the game? And that's why I say there needs to be more players coaching, players in power positions, players getting the fast track to being coordinators and head coaches. Now, if you're not good, you're not good. I don't care if you played or not. But we see a lot of guys that haven't played and are not good. It's not like these guys are just stepping into these roles as coordinators, quarterbacks, coaches, and just being good. They go through a process. And when they're, halfway through that process, they're getting fast tracked. That's all I'm saying. Give players the opportunity, ex-players, to be on that same fast track, knowing that we played 8, 9, 10 years, 11 years in the NFL. We've prepared. Not only have we prepared with the X's and O's on the board, but we've prepared by being on the field, knowing these situations, knowing what it's like, being in the fire. And that's all I'm saying about that. Now, Patriots, congratulations. Super Bowl 60 bound. And I ain't going to say that too many times because I really don't mess with y'all. But Bronco country, Great season. Shout out to the Broncos this year, man. Unfortunately, we had to go into this game without our starting quarterback. Bo Nix, get healthy, brother, because we expecting the same run next year. And I guarantee that we will be in the AFC Championship game again next year. Keep the defense going, add a few more pieces to the offense, and, we'll be there again, man. So shout out to y'all. Now, this is the game I did get right. I really should have got both these games right. When I call these games, I tell y'all all the time, I call them as if they play out in the manner in which I say is the best way to win the game. And when coaches or some other thing happens, it goes awry, and they lose, I still say my pick was right if they would have just done the things that I tell them to do. If you do the things I say, you'll win the game. You have the better team, and that's why I make the picks the way I do pick. Now, Seahawks, Rams. Seahawks going into the Super Bowl again. Congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks. They beat the Rams 31-27 in another tight divisional game. High scoring again. Pretty close to the one they had towards the end of the season that it went into overtime. But my thing about the Rams, about Matt Stafford, what I was saying before entering this game, I don't trust Matt Stafford. I don't think he finishes all the time. And I think Sam Darnold is just a better quarterback this year. Now, you can say he had more turnovers, but I say Matt Stafford, in the last two playoff games, put his team in situations to lose. But they end up winning because of second chances. This game, there were no second chances. And I'm not putting it all on Matt Stafford. Don't get me wrong. Matt Stafford, he does what he does. He threw for 1,000,000 yards again. But another thing I said about Matt Stafford that separates Sam Darnold and the Seahawks and Matt Stafford and the Rams was scoring touchdowns in the red zone and not kicking field goals. The Seahawks came out similar to how the Broncos came out. Airing shit out. Shaheed, deep ball. And I said he was going to be very vital in special teams for them to win this game. Turns out, he popped up on offense. He set the tone. Big play, 50-yarder, opened up the series, right down the sideline. He almost stepped out of it and scored on that play, but he didn't. But, so Seattle, they go and score a touchdown on their drive. The Rams, they get the ball. Matt Stafford go right down the field. Guess what? 3 points. Seattle gets the ball back. They go down the field. Field goal. It's 10-3. Rams get the ball right down the field. Guess what they do? Another field goal. And that's where the game was initially decided. At the end of the day, the game was pretty much decided there. Now, there was a muff punt that gave Seattle the ball in the red zone. But guess what Seattle did with that opportunity? You thought they kicked the field goal? Nope. They got 7. And that's what's been happening. In this matchup, you can say what you want, but Sam Darnold in that offense, whether it's Kenneth Walker, JSN, Rashid, Barner, the tight end, they get in the end zone. It was only one time that they didn't score a touchdown in scoring opportunity or when they went down the field. And that's why they got 31. 4 plus times 7 is 28. You add 3 more, that's 31. They won the game 31-27. It was a back and forth game. It was a duel of quarterbacks. It was a duel of playmaking receivers. Whether it was JSN for Seattle, or it was Puka for the Rams, or Devontae for the Rams. Hey, the playmakers came out and made plays. And the defenses, now I know I said Seattle was going to win the game because of their defense, but look, man, I don't know where their defense was yesterday. Because they was not the same defense they had against the Niners. But it's just a matchup thing. Another thing I've been saying and I preach about. The playoffs are about matchups. You may do and have a certain game against this team and lose against this team that's not very good, and you're in the playoffs, and then you come back and you kill another team because the matchups are just different. The Seattle and the Rams matchup is different, and it's going to be high scoring, evidently, and it's going to go down to who makes what? The least mistakes, the least turnovers, and scoring touchdowns instead of field goals. And that's pretty much how the Seattle Seahawks beat the Rams. Now, another situation that arose in this game. My dog, Tariq Woolen. When the game was over, it was 31-dub. They got a big stop. He made a big stop on third down to get them off the field. And he almost ruined it and lost his team the game. What does he do? He goes to the Rams sideline and taunts. He taunts for not a brief moment. He taunts for a long time down the sideline, looking at like, bro, what are you doing? And I seen his teammates getting on him on the sideline, and as they should, because you went above and beyond to try to lose your team the game. So now you guys are back on the field. And not do you go out there and strap and make sure that you make good on your mistake. First play, you get your ass bombed in cover 3. First off, why are you biting on a double move when you're the third corner? Riddle me that. You have a drop right underneath you in the passing lane, and you bite on a hitch, stutter, and go and get bombed by Puka. First off, you guarding Puka. You got to know. You have to know. After that bullshit you pulled, they was going to come at you. And I'm just speaking from experience, brother. Like, you almost lost your team the game, and if y'all lost the game for those 2 plays, man, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody put some hands and feet on you in the locker room. I'm just saying, I wouldn't be surprised. Not saying that it would happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if it did, because you are jeopardizing everyone's hard work, everyone's preparation, everyone's effort on some bullshit, on some selfish bullshit. That's straight what it was. Some selfish bullshit. And it ain't like you've been playing an amazing season. You ain't had a dog season in 2 years. Since your rookie year when you was picking everything off. And sometimes, man, you just got to humble yourself, bro. You have to humble yourself, get back to work, and get in the lab. And stop trying to be prom queen and have all eyes on you. You think you Tupac? Huh? Come on, man. You almost lost your team the game. Good thing your defense and the defense around you stepped it up and had a tremendous stop in your red zone that really sealed the game. Matt Stafford had 4 opportunities within the 15-yard line to get a touchdown, maybe within the 10. I don't know the exact yard line, but it was real damn close. And you guys held up, man. 4 straight downs. And that's why Sam Darnold outplayed Matt Stafford again for the second time. For the second time, Sam Darnold outplayed your MVP, Matt Stafford. And I told y'all he was. I told you Sam Darnold was the man. You know why he's the man? He did it with Minnesota. I know he lost in the first round, but he brought that team back from obscurity. Then bounced up with the Seahawks. Yeah, they had a good season with Geno Smith last year. But we see what Geno did with the Raiders this year. Look what Sam Darnold, he brought Seattle to the Super Bowl. You guys are going to the Super Bowl again. Who would have thought that? Who would have thought you guys were going to the Super Bowl this year? Not me. Not me. But Sam Darnold, shout out to him. And everybody saying that the Seattle Seahawks, well, I ain't going to say everybody. There's a lot of busters out there just be talking. Just be talking, man. They acting like the Seahawks made it to the Super Bowl in spite of Sam Darnold. The Seahawks don't get to the Super Bowl without Sam Darnold. And you could put any other quarterback in his shoes, Seattle Seahawks not being in the Super Bowl. Any other quarterback. You know why? It's a perfect fit. Sam Darnold came through in the clutch. He was accurate. He didn't turn the ball over. He played almost a perfect game. If you ask me, JSN was on fire. Walker on fire. And that's how they won the game. That's exactly how they won the game, man. And JSN, that one-handed catch on the sideline, back of the end zone touchdown, he gave it to y'all however you wanted it. He gave it to, and I knew that Rams secondary were going to get exposed because they got exposed last week against the Chicago Bears. And I knew it after the first appearance, after the first game they had in Seattle, the Bears exposed them boys. And I knew JSN was going to have a field day. I knew it. I think it was Cardinal Lake. He had a tough day. 31. He had a tough day. Your boy won. Forbes, he been having a rough playoffs. He been having a rough playoffs. Oh, my God. That boy been having it rough out there. He holding. They holding for the game. Hey, man, Seattle, man. Congratulations, y'all, making the Super Bowl. But look, I am going to point out back to what I was saying earlier is that why y'all don't want to give Sam Darnold his flowers, man. Y'all acting like Drake May played better than Sam Darnold. When I turn whatever on social media, the TV, all I'm hearing is Drake May and Seattle's defense. Seattle gave up 27 points, their defense. And I know we've been raving about their defense after what they did to the Niners. But you gave up 27 points. Like, you can't rave about your defense if you gave up 27 points. You just can't. Special teams, be special. I talk about it all the time. Special teams, whether it was a muff punt, the guy muffed the punt twice for the Rams. They lucky they got one back. The second one they didn't get back. And that cost them the game. That cost them the game. It's 3 phases of this, baby. It's 3 phases of this game, man. Offense, defense, special teams. If you don't win in all 3 phases or win 2 of those 3 phases, you're going to lose the game. Now, did Stafford throw a pick? No interception. All that passing, all them yards, no interceptions. But this is my thing with Matt Stafford, man. He's going to get busy between the 20s. He going to go up and down between the 20s, man. But it's something about the red zone. I think he sees it as a hazard or something. He must see it as an emergency hazard, like, don't go there. Because, like, if it's in the fringe and he throws some shit, it's going to damn near score. But once he get inside and it get tight, I don't know, man. He hasn't been as successful and as efficient as he needs to be to close out games and get 7 points instead of 3 points. And that's just what it is. That's why they lost the game. They lost the game by 4 points. They lost the game by 4 points. He was in the red zone. He could have put his team up by scoring a touchdown. He just couldn't do it, man. So Sam Darnold, man, shout out to you, man. You don't get the respect you deserve, and that's bullshit. Because you was in New York with them bum-ass Jets, and can't nobody do shit over there. And that's a fact. Soon as you get another opportunity somewhere else, best record in football, now you had an early exit from the playoff game 1, that's okay. But still people saying that your season was a fluke. That's bullshit. Bounce back with Seattle. Another best record in football. Super Bowl appearance now. Now, they can't really say shit. You go and win this motherfucker, hey, man, everybody got to kiss your ass. Everybody got to kiss your ass, so tell them to pucker up, all right? And I ain't going to do my prediction yet. But yeah, man, shout out to the Seahawks, Sam Darnold and crew, JSN. Walker was running like a madman. And, the Rams, they had a great season too. I don't want to seem like I'm just harping on the Rams, but it was inevitable. It was inevitable. It was inevitable. But you guys had a great season as well. I know y'all all out there busting your ass. So, it's a lot of hard work that goes into these seasons, and getting late and later in the season, it gets tougher. It gets more strenuous. It gets more stressful, gets more exciting. And to lose, you know, by small margins, man, it just eats you up. It eats you up. So, man, just congratulations on everybody involved in these playoffs, man, because I know how it is. And good luck to both teams in the Super Bowl. And if you ain't get to the playoffs or the Super Bowl, you better be working right now to get there next year, man. It's TJ Ward. It's Safety First. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And tell a friend to tell a friend, man. Y'all be talking. I keep saying this. Don't tell me, oh, I seen your show. I ain't see your comment. I seen your show. I ain't see your like. Oh, I seen your show. Well, share it on your story. All right? All right, I'm out. Pittsburgh Steelers hire coach Mike McCarthy to take over Steeler Nation. Do you think it was a great hire, or do you think they should have went with somebody else? I'm going to tell you right now why this was a great hire for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mike McCarthy has been and will be again one of the best coaches in the NFL to develop some of the best quarterbacks to play in the NFL. And Aaron Rodgers will once again have one of his better seasons of his career. Even in this old age, I see it in his future. Now, what is not so popular these day and age is an older coach in the form of Mike McCarthy. A boring coach that brings routine, that brings discipline, that brings structure to a football team, that brings accountability, a true general. I don't care if you like me. I'm here to win football games. I don't care if this is boring. We're here to win football games. I don't care if we're not going for it on fourth down because of analytics. This old school football. We're going to kick the field goal. We're going to punt the ball. And you know what else we're going to do? We're going to win football games. The Pittsburgh Steelers, shout out to Tomlin. They needed new structure. They needed a new way. And I've said Mike McCarthy deserves a head coaching job somewhere in this league again. You know why? Because under Mike McCarthy, guess what? Aaron Rodgers was an MVP. Aaron Rodgers ran an offense. Aaron Rodgers ran a scheme. Aaron Rodgers wasn't a freelance drop back quarterback, run around, try to make something happen. He was under the thumb of Mike McCarthy, which he didn't like after he won the MVP, which he wanted to do his own thing after he won the MVP in the Super Bowl. Tell me how that went for Aaron Rodgers. Did he win another MVP? Has he been back to the Super Bowl again? I'm going to answer both of those for you. No and no. Betty been wishing he had a coach like Mike McCarthy again. Mike McCarthy gets fired from Green Bay basically because of Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers thought he was bigger than the program. That's what happened. Aaron Rodgers thought he was bigger than the program. Oh, I don't need Mike McCarthy. I need a coordinator that's going to listen to everything I say. I need a play caller that's going to call the plays that I want to play. I'm the MVP. I can drop back and make magic happen. It looks better when we run an offense like this. It's more exciting when we run an offense like this. But guess what you don't do? You don't win championships, and you damn sure don't win MVPs. Mike McCarthy went to Dallas. Right? Mike McCarthy goes to Dallas, gets Dak. Now, in 2001, Dak had 37 TDs, 10 interceptions, threw for 4,500 yards. Oh, my bad. 2021. 12-5. Number one scoring offense. That's under McCarthy. 2022. 23 TDs, 15 interceptions. He missed 5 games. Turnover spike season. McCarthy didn't call plays in 2022. 23 TDs, 15 interceptions. Missed 5 games. Turnovers like crazy. That's double digits. Mike McCarthy gets back to calling plays. 36 TDs, 9 interceptions, back to 4,500 plus yards. MVP candidate. Number one scoring offense. 12-win season. The proof is in the pudding. I like to say a little thing like this. When my son wakes up in the morning and I say, "What do you want for breakfast, son?" You know what he's going to tell me? Honey Nut Cheerios, Fruit Loops, whatever, not honey bunches of oats, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. When I say, "Son, it's cold outside, we need to put a hoodie and a sweater on," he's going to tell me no. You know why? He's a child. He doesn't know what's best for him. Sometimes, most of the time, these quarterbacks don't know what's best for them. They need a coach in position to tell them what's best for them, whether you like it or not. This is how things are productive. This is how this team is going to be ran. And this is how you have a productive championship team MVP candidate quarterback. Ever since Aaron Rodgers separated from Mike McCarthy and went on his own and realized, damn, this is not how it gets done. He been bouncing around trying to find that again. Went to New York, got hurt, came to Pittsburgh, so-so, made the playoffs. Mike McCarthy's back. You got your daddy back. A-Rod, you got Mike McCarthy back. I expect the Pittsburgh. And outside the quarterback, let's look at the rest of the team, man. Let's look at the rest of the league. Now, you get these young guys in, the Mike McDaniels, you know what I'm saying? You get Sean McVay actually was a young coach that came in with the Rams. He did a great job, but McVay demands he's a little bit old school. He's a younger coach, but he comes from an old school background. The Shanahan's, McVay, old school Mike Shanahan, they don't play that shit. That's part of they don't play that shit. Now, I don't know what happened with Mike McDaniel, but you get some of these young coaches and they want to be cool, man. They don't want to rile up the players. They want the players on their side. When that shit don't work. You got to have discipline. You got to have a hierarchy. Your guys got to know when to be quiet, when coach is talking. Kubiak. This old school brand of coaching is making its way back. Mike Vrabel, player, demands a certain type of player to play for him. Either you with the program or you not. You either get down or you lay down. In the words of Beanie Siegel. You not with the program, you got to go. You got to go. So I think this was an amazing hire for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's just what they needed. It's in the image of the Pittsburgh Steeler. Hard nose, accountability, discipline. Now, we're going to see who hires as a DC, but I think they're on the right track with Mike McCarthy. He knows what it's like playing in that North. He was in the NFC North. Now he's in the AFC North. And the North demands a different brand of football than any other conference. If you're in that North, it's a different brand of football. It's physical. It's, like I said, demanding. It's treacherous. That cold is something that a lot of these, except the East, maybe, New York, but not really, because when you're around them Great Lakes, when you're in the Pittsburghs and the Clevelands and Ohios and the Minnesotas and the Chicagos, them Great Lakes, that wind come off them lakes, boy, it's another type of cold. I'm telling you, I am telling you, it's another type of clothes. But no, congratulations, Mike McCarthy, Pittsburgh Steelers, man. They on the fast track. I love the hire. And, they'll be back in the playoffs next year, man. They got to go against Baltimore, who just got a new coach and mentor. We'll see what he brings to Baltimore. He's a younger coach. Sounds like a great guy. We'll see if he could demand something from the Baltimore Ravens and that young team and that defense. That defense has some discipline. They have some disciplining to do and to make up. They from the outside looking in, very undisciplined defense. Now, Mike Minter, I hear great things personality-wise about him. We'll see if that structure, that accountability, if everything else comes into play. Because watching the Chargers, talented defense, right? Playmaking defense. But when it counted, I don't know. I don't know, man. That's just me. When I look at shit when it count, I don't look at this regular season bullshit. That's cool. That's cool and all. But when it count, they was giving up big buckets. Big buckets. That's all I'm saying. So that AFC North is shaping up into another league. 2 new coaches in there. You got Cincinnati. They kept their coach. And Cleveland, Stefanski's out. They haven't hired no one new, so I'm trying to. Did they hire somebody new, Cleveland, yet? No, they ain't hired nobody. Vance Joseph? Hey, I think Vance Joseph in Cleveland, hear me out now. I think Vance Joseph in Cleveland would be a great hire, a great situation, man. You get him with Shador, get him a nice OC to go with him. They defense, now they had a great defense last year under Schwartz, right? I think they can have a better defense under Vance Joseph. You see what he did with the Broncos, man. You see that Patrick. You think Myles Garrett had a bunch of sacks this last season. He going to break the sack record +3 next year with Vance Joseph, man. I see that in the future. I think the Cleveland Browns are waiting for the Broncos to finish up, but we'll see. We need to hurry up and get this out before they hire his ass. Get this out, Germ. Hurry up. Cut it. Cut.